check that your seat number matches the number on your ticket, because you'll be called to the stage in this order. If you discover that these do not match, our team of stewards can help you locate the correct seat. At the appropriate time, you'll be invited by the stewards to stand and to make your way to the foot of the stairs, ready to head up the stairs and across the stage. All very straightforward. There are two key things which make for a seamless ceremony. Firstly, as soon as the person ahead of you begins to cross the stage, please make sure you make your way up the stairs. Don't wait until they cross the stage before you reach the top of the stairs. Secondly, don't let excitement and pride overwhelm you so much that you forget to pick up your degree parchment after you've crossed the stage. If you do, don't worry. Services designed to help you make connections with other alumni across the world and to boost your career prospects. After the ceremony, please visit the Alumni Association stand and photo booth at the Exhibition Centre, where you can pick up your graduation gift to welcome you to the association. As you get your first job or take further study or training, please remember to keep us in touch with what you're doing. Understanding the career paths that you will take will help us provide the right support for current students and make sure we offer graduates like you relevant information and opportunities. Finally, please turn your mobile phones to silent, and will you all now please stand?
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the University of York. I declare this congregation open for the conferment of awards. Please be seated. So please allow me to, on behalf of this great university, extend the warmest welcome to all of you here today in this great hall. But also reaching out across the world. So many of our graduates this afternoon are from countries abroad, and particularly from China. And it's an enormous pleasure, A, to have had the opportunity to have had you here in York for your study, but also today to confirm your new persona as graduates of the University of York. Because it's not only in this room that we're celebrating. I know people will be watching this on live stream and will be enjoying it back in your hometowns. So I want to just very briefly to say a few words about what universities are doing in the 21st century and to try to give a sense of where we see the future going. And my words to you today would start with the word revolution. Revolution because York was the heart of much of the first industrial revolution. York was the place where the railway revolution took place. In only 1829 did Stephenson invent the rocket and win the prize for the most promising form of powering a railway. By 1839, a railway had been built from Newcastle to London. By about 1840, the station had been built here at York. By about 1850, there were 13 trains a day between York and London. You could post a letter in London in the morning and it would be delivered to your home in York in the afternoon. We're still building on that great success of the British postal services. But I make the point because that great industrial revolution which transformed this country and spread across the world was followed by two other great revolutions around mass production and around automation. But the fourth industrial revolution, as we're coming to call it, is already with us. It's already far advanced. And it's a revolution which deals in data and in digital technologies and in artificial intelligence. And across the world, so many university leaders are standing up, as I am, and saying, this is going to be difficult. The earlier industrial revolutions transformed. They transformed cities like York. York succeeded with the railway revolution because they'd succeeded in persuading Stephenson to run the railway line from Newcastle to London through York. And it opened up the borders of York to global trade and to global imagination and to a booming economy. But the way in which we look at this in the future is to express deep concern that the ill effects of those revolutions, those effects which led to widespread job losses, the hollowing out of employment, particularly of manual employment, and the huge growth in inequality and inequity in society will be grossly magnified by a fourth industrial revolution which starts to take out those jobs which are involved in the professional middle classes. And it's interesting that many people would define the greatest risk for the future as being those jobs which can be most easily quantified, because the more readily one can quantify an activity, the more readily it is that a machine can do it instead. So in this new age of AI and robotics, we need to ask ourselves, what's a university graduate for? A university graduate is not for going into a routine job and doing the same thing day after day after day. A university graduate in the fourth industrial revolution world needs, I would suggest, to have quite different qualities from the technological qualities that will drive that revolution. The university graduate of the future is going to be the one who succeeds by demonstrating the creativity, the imagination, the ability to be flexible in intelligence, the ability to adapt to a different society. And it's no surprise that so many of the graduates in this ceremony are graduates in education and in social sciences and the arts and the humanities, which will be fundamentally important disciplines in a completely transformed world. And don't believe that this is some way further in the distance. Let me just highlight where we know that artificial intelligence is already producing extraordinary gains for mankind. And I would say in healthcare. In healthcare, we now know that machines can be trained to do the interpretation of radiology, of X-rays, to a standard that is increasingly approaching that of the highest clinicians. and which is expediting and providing greater accuracy across the piece. Indeed, some go so far as to say that in healthcare across the world, which is an unsustainable industry across the world, AI, artificial intelligence, will bring down cost, will improve accuracy. But in other fields, we know that it will raise costs, we know that it will take out employment. And so the challenge for all of us, new graduates and the rest of us, is how we bring that intelligence to the benefit of society. It's been recently said in the context of political turbulence in this country that the people have had enough of experts. I think we might say in the context of the last 2 weeks that the people have had enough of amateurs. But the real context is how we help to develop a society which ensures that the tendency towards monopoly that will follow from those who are using artificial intelligence and data, the Facebooks and Googles and others of this world, is thwarted. And the monopoly does not lead to a widening of inequality across society, but to the emergence of those disciplines and those intellects and that creativity which is embedded in every graduate from the University of York to make the world a better place. So a warm welcome to everybody, and I declare this congregation ready now for the formal award of degrees. Thank you.
Chancellor, I have the honour to present the following candidates for the degree of Doctor of Philosophy in Education. For research in language teachers' self-efficacy beliefs in Oman, Faiza Nasser Al-Hassani. For research in how teachers conceptualise and practice feedback, Andrea Campbell-Mackelbeck. For research in second language teachers' reading instruction and attitudes in a Libyan context, Jenan El-Ashab. For research in teaching citizenship through English in Japan, Ian Hossack. For research in the intelligibility of Thai accented English, Girarda Suntorn Sarwet. For the degree of Doctor of Philosophy in Teaching English to Speakers of Other Languages, Marek Kichkowiak. For the degree of Master of Arts by Research in Education, Owen Simons. Jordan George Warren. For the degree of Master of Arts in Applied Linguistics for English Language Teaching, Xu Wei Lin. For the degree of Master of Arts in Education, Lu Bai. Ting Chun. Wan Mei Chun. Chidai. Cho Yu Dong. Chu Yao Tu. Chun Ge Gao. Chun Lu Gore. Li Chun Chin. Wen Yu Li. Yi Li. Jingting Liu. Lin Yao Liu. Emma McCleavey. Chun Bo Niu. He A Ren. Xin Song. Hui Jie Wang. Kai Lun Wang. Jia Shi Wu. Gong Li Shi. Meng Jia Zhou. For the degree of Master of Arts in Global and International Citizenship Education, Paraskevi Chansi. Xing Ya Dai. Shu Wan Liu. Jie Min. Stephanie Porter. Junying Tong. Ming Ju. For the degree of Master of Arts in Social Justice and Education, Catherine Smith. For the degree of Master of Arts in Teaching English to Speakers of Other Languages, Yu Wei An. Yuan Ao. Xian Chai. Wei Liu Tai. Wei Jia Kai. Jie Wu Chen. Mei Yu Chen. Ying Chen. Yishe Chen. Yifan Chu. Yu Qing Deng. Zhe Xing Deng. Meng Tin Fan. Liu Yangfu. Ge Le Ha. Nana He. Wen Chen He. Ming Shen Ho. Xie Qi Ho. Xie Ying Huang. Irana Ilana Isto. Shun Se Chang. Yuan Quan. Hong Yao Li. Ming Li. Chen Yun Li. Xiao Yulian. Jing Yi Lin. Yunfei Liu. Yuting Liu. Ji Peng. Wei Peng. Yu Hua Peng. Yixing Chao. Yiqi Qin. Jing Rao. Yining Shun. Xia Yansen. Zhang Yushen. Yuan Tang. Si Jiatong. Huanlan Wang. Jia Wang. Jinming Wang. Junyi Wang. Minji Wang. Xinyi Wang. Yanjun Wang. Yachi Wang. Yuno Wang. Gunbong Park Wises Mani. Punga U. Ying Shao. Chan Shu. Hai Tao Shu. Xu Hua Young. Bei Jia Zhong. Yun Se Zhong. Yi Zhuan Zhong. Yu Zhong. Si Jia Zhong. Qingju. For the degree of Master of Science in Psychology and Education, Alice Appleyard. Pushpa Arkal Gudu Jagadish. Sam Bailey. Apostolia Bomputa. Molly Beatles. Arsansini. Sarah Compton. Xu Han Dong. Susanna Dundas. Diana Fields. Laura Fox. Dong Ying Ji. Ri Liu. Ashley Mills. Joseph Pullen. Hannah Reevy. Jade Rushby. Eleni Tsikalaki. Guangmuta Young. Yu Ying Zheng. For the degree of Bachelor of Arts in Education, Samuel Timpany. For the degree of Bachelor of Arts, Daniel Barkle.
Chancellor, I have the honour to present the following candidates for the degree of Master of Arts in Social Research. May-K Davey. James McKendry. Xiaoxian Meng. Nadine Jade Michaelis. Kate Mooney. Karina Muller. M.M. Gholam Rabbani. Claire Redding. Benjamin Richards. Louise Shepherd. Omran Shrufi. Benjamin Thomas. Michael Thompson. Kirsty Louise Toon. Susan Watson.
Ladies and gentlemen, Ensemble Eonomy will perform Words by the Real Group. followed by Road Home, arranged by Stephen Paulus.
Words, a ladder and a ladder on a string will hold forever humanity's spellbound words. Possession of the beggar and the king. Everybody, every day, you and I, we all can say words. Regarded as a complicated tool, created by man, implicated by mankind. Words, obsession of the genius and the fool. Everybody, every day, everywhere and every way. Oh, words. Find them, you can use them. Say them, you can hear them. Write them, you can read them. Love them, fear them. Words transmitted as we're fitted from the start. Received by all and we're sentenced to a life with words. Impression of the stupid and the smart. Everybody, every day, you and I, we all can say words. Inside your head can come alive as they're said softly, loudly, modestly, or proudly. Words, expression by the living and the dead. Everybody, every day, everywhere and every way. Oh, words, find them, you can use them. Say them, you can hear them. Write them, you can read them. Love them, fear them. String.
Chancellor, it gives me great pleasure to introduce our honorary graduate, Mr. Gianni Ruffini. Gianni is the Director General of Amnesty International Italy. He has held the post for the last 5 years and has devoted his work to advocacy and campaigning on behalf of some of the most vulnerable men, women, and children in Europe and beyond. His leadership of the organization coincided with the most testing times in the history of Europe since the end of the Second World War, a time when human rights have come under great pressure, with refugees risking their lives daily to reach the Italian shores, with populist, xenophobic leaders on the march, and when established values of multilateralism and international cooperation are under great threat. Gianni is a distinguished humanitarian practitioner who has made a tremendous contribution to the eradication of poverty and to the response to people's needs as a result of conflict and natural disasters around the world. He is someone who has spent his entire career campaigning on behalf of millions of people in various fields. In honoring Gianni today, York recognizes and pays tribute to the invaluable work that Gianni and hundreds of other aid workers around the world do on a daily basis. I first met Mr. Ruffini in 1995 at Cornwallis Park in southern Nova Scotia at the former opening of the Lester Pearson Canadian International Peacekeeping Centre. Gianni was invited then in recognition of his professional contribution at the time as one of the most distinguished European trainers to help train peacekeeping troops going into some of the most difficult situations in various conflicts. I was so impressed with his remarkable contributions throughout the week that followed that I invited him to speak on our then newly established Masters in Post-War Recovery Studies. A testament to his modesty and collegiality, Gianni graciously accepted the invitation to lecture. The fact that at the time we had no fee to offer him or even the ability to pay his travel did not stop him from wanting to join in what has become a great meeting place of young scholars and aid practitioners alike. Since then, that is 1995, and for 22 years, Gianni has been visiting York at least once a year. This is no mean feat, considering that his work used to lead him to distant and often dangerous places. Yet, whatever difficult circumstances he finds himself in, he has always shared his immense knowledge, experience, and wisdom with our post-war reconstruction and development community. He started his career in international aid in 1985, driven by the emotive response to the Ethiopian famine of 1984-1985, and the impact Live Aid had in those days. His first mission was for an Italian NGO and was for Madhya Pradesh in India, bringing water to an ethnic minority community whose forest life had been completely upturned by deforestation and desertification. Soon after that, Gianni had the opportunity to carry out a mission to Ethiopia and to witness the effects of famine in a civil war situation. In 1987, he worked extensively in West Africa, and his next posting took him to the Palestinian territories and Jordan, where he fell in love with the Palestinian cause and found himself for the first time navigating the dilemma of the core humanitarian principle of neutrality. Gianni engaged intensely in the campaign for the establishment of the International Criminal Court and the international campaign to ban landmines, both of which were successful in achieving their objectives, with the latter being awarded the Nobel Peace Prize in 1997. At the end of 1997, Gianni was recruited as director of VOICE, the European Network of Humanitarian Organizations. In that capacity, he participated in the process which led to the groundbreaking Sphere Standards, or the establishment of the Sphere Standards, which produced for the first time a universal set of humanitarian standards and principles. As VOICE director, Gianni's attention turned to the ethical aspects of humanitarian action, and he worked with dozens of NGOs across Europe. His early achievements in the field of humanitarian aid were followed by his very intensive advocacy and lobbying work with the European Commission and Parliament in Brussels. He has contributed to designing European policies and approaches on reconstruction processes in the Balkans and in Central America post-Hurricane Mitch. All along, Gianni devoted his best efforts to strengthening the NGO system, building its quality, defining its ethics, rigor and coherence, and most importantly, defending it against political attacks. After leaving VOICE, Gianni worked as a consultant, trainer, and researcher for a dozen international NGOs, UN agencies, think tanks, and foundations. He deployed in many countries, too numerous to mention here, but including the Balkans, Palestine again, Vietnam, Burundi, and Argentina. Ever since 2002, Gianni has run courses in Italy on various aspects of humanitarian aid, human rights, migration, and has also participated in the training of NATO force commanders with a focus on humanitarian and human rights and the law of war. Gianni continues to be actively involved in shaping the leading edge of humanitarian policy through his consultation and advice to donors and policymakers. He is, in short, an exemplary humanitarian leader who has made a huge difference to the lives of many over the course of his career. Chancellor, for his commitment to the humanitarian cause and for his outstanding contribution to the protection of human rights, I have the honor to present to you Gianni Ruffini for the degree of Doctor of the University, honoris causa.
Hope you will apologize some emotion. I'm an emotional person. This is why I did this strange work, trying to help the others when they are in difficult moments, when they are going through difficult times, trying to give my contribution to building a better world. It's a micro contribution. I'm a little ant. I'm an atom in this huge effort. But by listening to the biography as illustrated by my friend Sultan Barakat, it's a bit impressive. What impresses me most is that I had the chance to do all this. I had the chance to work at so many levels with so many people, from the farmer in Ethiopia to the minister in Europe, and trying to do my best in all these areas. I think it's been marvelous, and I owe most of this to the University of York, to the Post-War Reconstruction and Development Unit. This is where I could really put my ideas and views together with the others and confront and build an incredible set of ideas, resources, energies, approaches, methodologies, tools to build a better world. Now, the times are not as favorable as they used to be 20 years ago when we started. But this is even more important that we use this great opportunity, this great source of knowledge that the university represents, to do our best to build a better world. It will be up to you, young men and women who are now entering this incredible and fascinating and charming and ethically motivating area of work, which is international relations, which is international aid, which is humanitarian aid, post-war reconstruction, fighting against climate change, fighting against racism, fighting for the rights of all the people, for the rights of migrants. It's an impressive area of work. The difficulties are enormous, but this is the place where you find the ways and tools to achieve it. It's up to you. I'm in your hands, and good luck and best congratulations for your achievement. And thank you very much, Chancellor, for this great opportunity.
Chancellor, I have the honour to present the following candidates. For the degree of Doctor of Philosophy and Law, for Research and Software Integration from an Antitrust Perspective, Hannah Abdulwadud Abdeen. For Research in Complexity of Nature Conservation Decision-Making, Anna Dimitropoulou. For Research and Examination of Policies Impacting Migrant Workers, Reginald Frection. For the degree of Master of Laws in International Corporate and Commercial Law, Matthew Carmichael. Shay Jing Chang. Ji Shuang Shen. Lana Fidel. Ellie Frangu. Katerina Katsura. Rebecca Robinson. Kyra Sabirova. Lewis Smith. Chenlin Zhu. For the degree of Master of Laws in International Human Rights Law and Practice, Claudia Almeida. Cecilia Andre. Helen Bates. Anita Rebecca Devakumar. Victoria Elizabeth Dunford. Charlotte Gallagher. Rhiannon Griffiths. Rhianne Holloway. Simon Hurtado Delgado. James Killen. Yayan King. Maria Munir. Cara Noella Peterson. Josefina Rossetti. Raquel Saranen. Alice Trotter. Sarah Wallace. Natasha Wickramasakera. For the degree of Master of Laws in Law, Haojin Deng. For the degree of Master of Laws in Legal and Political Theory, Joshua Dare Jones. Matthew Lowry. Andrew Macaulay. Christopher Riles. Jonathan Tucker. For the degree of Bachelor of Laws in Law, John Allen. Sujeev Chopra. Molly Hindman Cunningham. And Jonathan Wu.
Chancellor, I have the honour to present the following candidates for the degree of Doctor of Philosophy in Politics. For research in state-diaspora relations in illiberal context, Lucretia Canzuti. For research in protection for human rights defenders in Kenya, Irana Ikim. For research in civil society advocacy for refugees, Sarah Sedek Mohammed. For research in state failure and security governance in Jamaica, Sherry Warmington. For research in global imbalance and political economy of China, Chen Shi. For the degree of Master of Arts in Applied Human Rights, Jade Lee Bone. Nishat Chowdhury. Catherine Elmer. Jonathan Fry. Sarah Houghton. Kendall Jones. Samantha Keogh. Catherine Knox. Ana Martinez Fernandez. Ludovicia Massa. Charlotte Russell. Hannah Sissons. Catherine Totty. For the degree of Master of Arts in Conflict, Governance and Development, Abdikadir Asghar Obokor. Rashmi Guha Ray. Kari Huram. Stephen Jones. Nishal Karal. Yi Yu. For the degree of Master of Arts in International Political Economy, Critical Theories, Issues and Conflicts, Emily Busby. Sayed Abteen Anayat. For the degree of Master of Arts in International Relations, Reem Abbas. Mehdi Buhassoun. Evangeline Conn. Sophie Harlos. Sneha Hussain. Jeremy Hutton. Paul Olsen Kaldheim. Yanis Karam Kola. Menting Lee. Yael Lopez Torres. Natalie Mitchell. Elizabeth Wilson. Philippa Wilson. Alex Young. For the degree of Master of Arts in Post-War Recovery Studies, Sylvia Cortez Ballan. Rachel Goodfellow. Rob Simmons. Mai Takimoto. Isaac Toman Grief. For the degree of Master of Arts in Public Administration and Public Policy, Rose Lawson. Li Pang Lung. Wei Liu. Peter Newton. Fei Shi. For the degree of Master of Public Administration, International Development, Safwan Shetwan. For the degree of Master of Public Administration, Laura Balderson. Jessica Errington. Ian Greenwood. Manasanan Kantasari. Bintu Nje. Richard Ogden. Ben Ralston. Koji Tani. Yu Wen. For the degree of Bachelor of Arts in Politics, Jack Rucroft. For the degree of Bachelor of Arts in Politics with International Relations, Joseph Smithers. Yana Walker.
Chancellor, I have the honor to present the following candidates. For the degree of Masters of Arts in Philosophy, Politics and Economics, Nathaniel Edmondson. Denise Gore. Jack Heat. Jongbin Lu. George Miller. For the degree of Masters of Arts in Philosophy, Politics and Economics, Economics and Development, James Broom. For the degree of Masters of Art in Philosophy, Politics and Economics, Economics and Politics, Oliver Ray. Thomas Sheeran. For the degree of Masters of Arts in Philosophy, Politics and Economics, Arnaud Babeuf. Simon O'Brien. For the degree of Bachelor of Arts in Politics and Philosophy, Christopher Marker. For the degree of Bachelor of Arts in Philosophy, Politics and Economics, Angelica Ramirez Moreno.
Chancellor, I have the honour to present the following candidates for the degree of Doctor of Philosophy in Sociology, for research in ex-prisoners' self-change through higher education, David Honeywell. For the degree of Master of Arts in Criminology and Social Research, Gabenga Ala-Abi. Christakis Damianu. Arabella Francesca Jones. Luke Watson. For the degree of Master of Arts in Culture, Society and Globalisation, Michaela Toman Akova. Weiqi Wang. For the degree of Master of Arts in Social Media and Social Research, Tuyet Unjunyan. For the degree of Master of Science in Social Media and Management, Yihan D. William Hicks. Chi-Hei Lee. Lucy Roach. Xiaoyu Wang. Lilai Wang. Yating Jia.
Chancellor, I have the honour to present the following candidates for the degree of Doctor of Philosophy in Women's Studies. For research in gender, sexualities and primary education, Catherine Atkinson. For research in portrayals of change in trans autobiographies, Imogen Noeldon. For the degree of Master of Arts in Women's Studies, Sarah Ann Barrow. Hannah Cherry. Elisabetta Moreau. Aranima Faraja. Tanya Williams. Rebecca Winby. Marino Yamada. Cheshun Lee. Amy Bullard. Jill Caldwell. Tess Merison J. Ruby Steer. For the degree of Master of Arts in Applied Human Rights, Duana Haj Ahmed. For the degree of Master of Arts in Philosophy, Politics and Economics, Yusuf Salama. For the degree of Bachelor of Arts in Politics with International Relations, Alexander Benedict Castro Jamal. I have the honour to present the following candidate for the degree of Master of Arts in Teaching English to Speakers of Other Languages, Tongyu Chen.
Ladies and gentlemen, it's my enormous pleasure to introduce Ian Greenwood, our student orator, who will speak on behalf of the class of 2019. Our student orators have been invited to speak in recognition of their hard work on behalf of the student community and commitment to their studies. Our speakers have both pursued the most enriching experience they could during their time at York, as well as giving back to their community. On behalf of the class of 2019, I give you Ian Greenwood.
Afternoon, everybody. Coming to the University of York was both exciting and daunting. I've never studied full-time before, and my previous studies have all been combined with work, so it felt like a little bit of an indulgence and a bit of a privilege, and I had so much time to study and learn. My fellow students came to their studies for many different reasons, from undergraduates to mature students, from here in the UK, Europe, and even further afield, and all with their own motivations and ambitions. With the support of their loved ones, we all took the leap. I've spent my whole career working in the NHS in England, but I wanted to study a new subject area away from health after a life-changing event. At the age of 12, one of my two daughters, Alice, was killed in a tragic road crash caused by boy and girl racers. An experience like this made me want to change. I wanted to create change, and I wanted to help prevent road deaths. So, as part of this change, I decided on a master's degree from the politics department here at the University of York, and to learn how policy can be developed and implemented across the UK political setting. The current UK reductionist approach has its foundation on the acceptance that deaths are an inevitable consequence of mobility. My research conducted as part of my MPA argued that by changing the way we think about road deaths, the 1,793 people who were killed on the UK's roads in 2017 are avoidable. We can change the UK policy on road safety, and by shifting to prevention and not reduction, a systems-based approach. Some argue this is not plausible, but areas like London, Edinburgh, Liverpool and others have all recently adopted this policy, as well as many other parts of the world. It's often called Vision Zero. I wanted to use the experience that I gained in York, as well as my personal motivation to help prevent road deaths in whatever way I can. I recently secured a director's role in a new sector for me, hence leaving the NHS, and I started working for Break, the road safety charity, which has a UK as well as a global reach aiming to stop road deaths, and I head up the National Road Victim Service. This was also quite scary for me, but also very exciting, especially after more than 30 years working in the NHS. But road safety, I think obviously, is a policy area that I have a particular interest in, and I'm convinced that my studies have been an influencing factor in being successful in joining the charity. You will all have your own backstory and your reasons for studying, and I hope you found the experience fulfilling too. But what we all have in common in this room, I think, is an eagerness to learn, to strive, to challenge, to experience different environments, and to improve ourselves and the world around us. I have coached many people over my career who would have liked to have studied at whatever level or whatever stage of their career, who describe a whole load of reasons why they can't. Obviously, people in this room chose to. The job is too busy, the mortgage or the rent is too onerous, their English isn't good enough, they're too old, they're scared of embarrassing themselves, and other reasons. Each of these people who don't study will have different reasons to stay where they are and to do what they have always done. So, if I may, as a parting piece of advice from a recent student and at my age, I'd say this: do something about your motivations, minimize all those excuses why you can't do the things you want to do, and make that leap. Grasp that challenge and take on that thrill. I did, by coming to York, and I absolutely do not regret it. Thank you.
Chancellor, distinguished guests, graduates, it gives me great pleasure to introduce Dame Helena Morrissey, one of the most influential women in finance globally and an inspiring campaigner for gender diversity. Women graduate from university at higher percentage than men do today. Yet, women still earn less and hold fewer executive positions. Fostering gender diversity in the workplace is not just an ethical imperative, but a business priority. Over 20 years of research demonstrates a clear relationship between an organization's gender diversity and performance. The University of York is committed to creating a community where diversity is recognized, valued, and celebrated. We proactively advance equality and inclusive practices in our staff and student recruitment and admission processes, in our research activity, in our teaching, within the campus environment, and in the experience we offer to all our academic and professional services and to the student community. Our commitment to gender diversity has been acknowledged by the Swina Sworn Charter that recognizes the advancement of gender equality. The Department of Chemistry at the University of York was the first academic department in the UK to win an Athena Swan Gold Award. Since then, 14 other departments won Athena Swan Awards, and also the university as a whole. Dame Helena studied philosophy at Cambridge before starting her asset management career in New York. After her first pregnancy, she was passed over for a promotion, despite her excellent professional performance. This taught her a lesson that she carried with her: get out of any organization that doesn't encourage you to thrive. After returning to London, she joined Newton Investment Management as a junior fund manager, and she was appointed CEO aged just 35. During her 15 years leading the firm, assets under management more than doubled. Dame Helena Morrissey is now chair of the Investment Association, the UK industry trade body whose members manage more than £5 trillion, and head of personal investing at Legal and General Management, a new role aimed at engaging the nation to save and invest more. In 2010, Dame Helena founded the 30% Club, a cross-business initiative to achieve better gender-balanced UK company boards. The group aimed at increasing the number of boardroom positions occupied by women in the FTSE 100 index of Britain's biggest companies, from the initial level of 12% to 30%. This target was achieved in September 2018, and the 30% Club approach has now been adopted internationally. The 30% Club now also leads efforts which span the whole career journey, from schoolroom to boardroom. Dame Helena has been named one of the Fortune magazine's World 50 Greatest Leaders. She twice has been voted one of the 50 most influential people in finance globally by Bloomberg Markets. She is a regular media commentator on topics as wide-ranging as climate change, executive pay, and Brexit. She was appointed Commander of the British Empire in the 2012 New Year's Honours List for her contribution to the role of women in business. In 2017, she was made Dame, and in 2018, she published the book, A Good Time to Be a Girl. Conferring a honorary degree to Dame Helena sends a powerful signal that this university is rewarding successful women. It also recognizes her campaign for gender diversity, which has helped inspire the new generation of women and men. Chancellor, for her outstanding contributions in finance and for promoting the role of women in business, I present Dame Helena Morrissey for the degree of Doctor of the University, honoris causa.
Well, good afternoon. It really is wonderful to be here. I do feel truly honoured. But more important than that, actually, I feel very happy to be celebrating, to be rejoicing your achievements with you today. So thank you for allowing me to be part of your special day. I have 9 children, and 4 of them are at university or just about to start. I don't fit the conventional mold in a few ways. I try to say 9 children just like it's normal. But anyway, I mean, you would, wouldn't you? Anyway, 4 of them, as I said, are at or just about to start university. So I very much am familiar with the issues that you face, particularly, I think, today, the deluge of negativity and uncertainties that are placed upon you as you look ahead to your futures. Now, I actually believe that the future right now is very exciting, and that's because of the change all around us that has already been mentioned several times, including by the Chancellor. Of course, I'm not glossing over the upheavals and the difficulties that are associated with that. But I think one of the great opportunities is that there's now a chance for different types of people, not necessarily people who might fit the stereotypical mold of a successful leader or business person. And what I have seen over the 10 years that I've really focused on doing my little part in the gender equality issue has been a change in the discussion. It's not so much now, although it's still a very important driver, of course, it's not just about equality and fairness. It is about creating better businesses. It is about creating that innovative thinking, that creativity that the Chancellor alluded to in his opening remarks. So my advice to my children and to you is to do the opposite of submerging your differences. I want you to celebrate and be extenuating your differences as you go out into the next exciting chapter of your lives as you graduate today. What I see now is that companies and organizations have rather belatedly perhaps, but realize the rather obvious thing, that we need diversity of thought, that we need to challenge each other, that no single person has all the answers themselves. And I'm not just talking about your difference being your gender, your sexuality, your creed, or your colour. I'm talking about what makes you special, about your personality, about your values, about your morals, about what you really care about. And that's what companies and organisations want today. So I thank you again for allowing me to be part of your special day. I'm very, very excited about your opportunities, provided that you go out as you, that you don't look to fit in with the status quo, but that you look to try to create the world that you want to see. Thank you again.
So, graduates, ladies and gentlemen, in a moment I'll formally close this congregation, but before I do, just a few words by way of reflection. It won't have escaped anybody's notice this afternoon that we have just taken across the stage a group of mainly postgraduate students, in other words, people who are today graduating with their second degree, and I think in many cases actually their third degree. That includes a number of students who have done a PhD. A PhD is an extraordinary achievement. It's at least 3 years full-time focus on an increasingly reductionist area in which the candidate's able to create new knowledge or develop new understanding of an area. And this is one of the greatest intellectual challenges in a modern university. So particularly proud to have been able to confer those degrees this afternoon. The second thing that won't have escaped anybody's notice is the international character of the graduating class. I mean, can you imagine leaving your home country, having done a degree in one language, coming to a different country, to a different city, and to a different learning culture, to do another degree, and to do it successfully, and to be able to graduate with the very best of our own home students. And I just am humbled by the achievements of those who are graduating today. So I did say in my opening remarks that we live in the teeth of a revolution, and a revolution can be depressing or a revolution can be immensely exciting. It can create danger, it can create risk, but it also creates opportunities, and that, I think, reflects the comments we've just had from our two honorary graduates. Why do we confer honorary degrees? I think there are many reasons. The most obvious one is that this is the highest award that a university can grant, and we do it to people of enormous distinction. But I also like to think, what a wonderful opportunity to bring in front of an audience such as you, people who epitomize the sense of human achievement, people who once upon a time sat in an audience like this themselves wondering what they were going to do in life, and now have managed to achieve so much and in such completely different worlds. So with you, I would like to extend our congratulations to our honorary degree recipients. But also this afternoon, I want to extend some thanks and congratulations to others. The first of them is to Ian Greenwood for that immensely moving speech. As your student representative, Ian, thank you so much for that. Secondly, to the a cappella choir, Ian Onmedy. Every year they come and they perform so beautifully unaccompanied, and they somehow, to me, represent the uplifting spirit of the University of York. So please, can we give them a round of applause as well? And there's a very distinguished group here represented along these seating along here and on the stage, which is the staff of this institution. This, of course, is a small representation of an enormous body of people who make it possible for the university to function at every level, who provide the supervision, the education, the lecturing, the tutorials, and everything that you've benefited from. I wonder if you would mind joining me in thanking and congratulating those members of staff who have made this possible for you. And then around the upper tiers of the auditorium and across the world are your families. your supporters, your friends, your cousins, sisters, brothers, parents, grandparents. And I know that today they're also taking enormous pride in your achievements. Shall we just say thank you to them as well? And finally, I think we can manage just one more round of applause for our graduates, honorary and otherwise. Our graduates. I declare this congregation closed. Please be upstanding.